Mr. Bhattarai, you're here at a time when Nepal seems to be in the middle of another crisis over the constitution building. What are your hopes from your meetings with the Indian leadership?
It's not another crisis, it's a continuation of the crisis. Till the peace process is over, this political transition creates hiccups here and there. But I would like to say we are moving in the right direction in the peace process, but of late some of the political forces in Nepal seem to have forgotten the past agreements and the nuances of the peace process, so that has created some problem. So while during my visit to Delhi, since peace process, I am not talking all the political process, that will send a very wrong message, but the peace process is a matter of concern for all, especially for neighbors. So that's why I wanted just to update the situation in Nepal and seek the views of our friends in India. That's why I am here.
But you have said that India has a role to play when it comes to Nepal's constitutional process. Where is the line between assistance or India assisting Nepal in that process and interference?
No, I am not inviting interference. Nepal is a sovereign, independent country, and Nepalese political forces and leaders, parties should decide for themselves what is good for them. That's what we have been doing. But I am talking of the peace process, and constitution making through the Constituent Assembly is a part of a peace process. And if there is no peace and reversion back to conflict in Nepal, that will affect the neighbors, not only India, China and others as well, but more India, because we are more closely connected with India. In that sense, I am saying India should be aware of the difficulties in the peace process and should play its role, positive role. I am not inviting interference, positive role as a good neighbor to promote the conclusion of the peace process.
The reason I ask that is because when Prime Minister Modi went to Nepal, to Kathmandu in November 2014, and he said that the peace process should be driven by consensus and not by majority, he was criticized roundly across the political spectrum. Is there a danger that if India is involved in some way in the peace process now, that there would be those similar criticisms?
No, those people who made some noises are just hypocrites in my opinion, because these are the ones who come to Delhi for personal favor, but when it comes to the good of the country and the nation, and these same people make different voices. So that is not the voice of the Nepalese people. Nepalese people want to conclude the peace process according to the earlier understanding, especially the comprehensive peace agreement. And in the peace process, neighbors should and do have genuine interest. So they can play a positive role without directly interfering in the internal affairs of a country. In that sense, Mr. Modi's statement in both his visits were taken positively in Nepal.
You're saying that criticism of India in this is a part of hypocrisy. Many say that they don't understand why the Maoists continue to play a difficult opposition. Since 2006, we've seen this constitution building process, and every time it seems to get stuck because of the opposition led really by the UCPN at this stage, not willing to go ahead. Why is it that the Maoists are always seen as the troublemakers in this process?
Yeah, thank you so much. You have given me this opportunity to clarify. I think then these people who say such things don't know the Constituent Assembly and the new constitution and political change in Nepal was basically brought about by the Maoists. The 10 years of people's war waged against the autocratic monarchy prepared a ground to have a constitution through a Constituent Assembly. Earlier we have had 5 constitutions given by the kings, and the Nepali Congress and the UML had accepted the earlier constitution given by the king. But we were the ones who questioned the authority of the monarchy, and we the ones who raised the necessity of having a constituent through a constituent assembly. So it's not because of the Maoists the process is stalled, it is because of the Maoists the constituent assembly has happened in Nepal. This is the reality.
All right, and my final question, you spoke about the internal choice for Nepali people. What about the external choice? In India, there's always the concern that not just development projects in Nepal, but also the political leadership itself is very close and is funded almost by elements in China. Do you think India needs to worry?
No, I don't think India needs to worry. India, being an aspiring world power and a dominant regional power, does have a genuine interest whatever happens in the neighborhood, and we are quite aware of this thing, and we are ready to cooperate with both our neighbors, India and China, so that Nepal's territory is not used against the basic interest of our neighbors. So we make that commitment, and for that we would like to assure both our neighbors, especially India, because we have more interaction with India than China, though China also is a big power, our very friendly neighbor, but still we have to deal more with India, and when you deal more with somebody, you have more problems also. So in that sense, we would like to assure India, Indian leadership, Indian political parties, Nepal wants peace and prosperity and development, which will be good for security of India as well. For that, we must work together, and we are ready to cooperate with India on this issue.